Let's make this crochet snood using the grind stitch.
So to begin, you're going to need double knit yarn or category 3 yarn. I have bits and pieces, but I'll put the actual quantities in the description box below. A 4mm hook, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. So let's begin. The stitch we're going to use is the double crochet, and then we're going to join using the whip stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one color yarn per row with the 5 colors. So I'm going to start with this burnt orange, and I'm going to make a chain of 79. This is one size fits most. If you need to make it bigger or smaller, make a chain of in multiples of 3 plus 4 stitches. So I'm going to make my chain of 79, and I'm going to come back and we'll start our pattern. So I've done my 79 stitches, and what I'm going to do is in the 6th stitch from the hook, I'm going to work 3 double crochets. So the first 3 stitches will be a turning stitch, and then you're skipping the next 2 stitches. So in the 6th stitch from the hook, you're going to work a 3 double crochet, a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then skip the next 2 stitches and work 3 double crochets in the 3rd stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then work in the 3rd stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Continue until you have 4 stitches left, and I'm going to see you at the end of the row when I have 4 stitches left. So now I have 3 stitches left, in fact, and I'm going to skip the 2 and work a double crochet in the last stitch. So that's my first row. Now what I want to do is I don't want to have like a lot of tails to weave in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be joining my yarn at the end of the round. So I'm going to take my next color, the next color that I want to use, which is this reddish brownish variegated yarn, and I'm going to cut my first color, and then I'm going to undo that stitch. Okay, take my second color and make a magic knot, which is this. Took me a lot of practice to actually master this. And then one side and then ends. Then I'm gonna cut the tails and then I'm going to work the last stitch. You may have to make the stitch tighter and just make sure that you have finished your first yarn, and then chain 1, sorry, chain 3, 2, 3, right? Now we're going to work the second row, right? And working the second row, we're going to be working in these spaces, right? I'm not going to work in the first space. I'm going to skip that and then skip the 3 double crochets and just work in the next space. There's no chain. Remember, there's no chain. It's just like a gap where at the bottom you skipped the 3 stitches. Skip these 3 double crochets and work 3 double crochet in the next space. Skip 3 and then work double crochets in the next space. Skip and work double crochets in the next space, and I'm going to continue like this until the end of the row, and then I'm going to change color and repeat the second row. So at the end of the row you have these 3 clusters and then the chains that you skipped, so you just work 3 double crochets in that space, 1, 2 and 3, and then work your last double crochet in the second chain just to finish off your row, and you're done. It's now time to add your next yarn, and I'm going to use this beige color, and once again I'm going to go and join my yarn. The joining yarn initially can be tedious, but it's rewarding when you don't have to weave in ends, you know. Too far out. So let's work that last stitch. There we go. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn, and then work in the exactly as the second row in between the 3 double crochet clusters. And you're going to continue working until you have 30 rows. So I'm going to work row 2 until I have 30 rows, changing colors as I go along. And as I say, you can change colors as many times as you'd like, which makes this project like a great stash buster. So if you have, bits and pieces you don't know what to do with in your stash, you can use them for this project. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to continue working my rows until I have 30 rows. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to join this together. So I'm done with my piece, and in total I've done 31 rows, and you're going to end up with it's going to be 22 inches by 14 inches. And when you're done, cut a long tail weaving to sew your piece together. So now I'm going to thread my needle with my end tail, and then I'm going to join this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that end where I have my tail to the center. You can just land it anyway, and then bring the bottom part, the row where you have the first row, to the center as well, so they are like in parallel. And we're going to stitch 22 stitches from the beginning to there. So all you have to do is count the same number of stitches on this side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where I'm gonna have my stitches join. This is where I'm joining 22 stitches, and I'm just going to use the whip stitch. When I was working, I noted that it's better to end with the same color if you're using different colors, so that your joint is nice and neat, and the whip stitch gives a very nice finish to this pattern. So I'm just going to stitch through each stitch, and I'm just going to follow the stitches as they are until the end. And you're done. This is how it's going to look like, and then all you have to do is fold it like so. Just make sure you flap it around, and you're done.
So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notification, and you can go ahead and check out another style of a snood, which is in the link in the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time.